Hello, everyone. I'm Neil Moat, and I have the privilege to be the Chief Medical Officer for Abbott's Structural Heart business. The Heart Valve Innovation Awareness Award recognizes a physician advocate for heart valve disease innovation and awareness. Both of these areas are of the utmost importance to us at Abbott, and I am honored to have been asked to present the Heart Valve Innovation Awareness Award to Dr. Vino Turani. Dr. Turani is an outstanding heart surgeon who currently serves as the Bernie Marcus Chairman of the Department of Cardiovascular Surgery at Piedmont Healthcare and the Marcus Heart Valve Center of the Piedmont Heart Institute in Atlanta. This award honors Dr. Turani's dedication to patient-centered care and his recognition of the importance of heart valve disease awareness, as well as his support for educating patients about treatment options that may be available or appropriate for them. Dr. Turani has a distinguished resume in leadership roles. There's so many, it would take too long to go through them all. But in addition to his roles at Piedmont, he is also the current president of the Southern Thoracic Surgical Association, president of the Heart Valve Society, and the president of the South Atlantic Cardiovascular Society. He serves on many professional society boards and is co-chair of the STS-ACC National Transcatheter Valve Therapies, TVT database, which is a collaboration between the Society of Thoracic Surgeons and the American College of Cardiology that monitors patient safety and real-world outcomes related to transcatheter valve replacement and repair procedures. He's authored over 550 peer-reviewed articles and is principal investigator or on the steering committee for more than 10 valve trials in the US. Vino, Dr. Turani, thank you very much for your leadership in clinical development in heart valve surgery and intervention and in cardiology, and for being a dedicated advocate for patients with heart valve disease, working to make sure they are informed and empowered in shared decision-making with their clinicians. We know each other very well, and it's wonderful to be with you today and to be able to present you with the Heart Valve Innovation Awareness Award. Very many congratulations.
Neil, thank you so much. I'm not sure I'm really deserving of the comments that you just made, but thank you so much. I'm humbled and I'm honored. And here at the Piedmont Heart Institute, this is something that is very special to us that you guys have chosen us to be a part of this. So truly humbled. Thank you so much. So it's quite an honor for us. Thank you.
It's our pleasure. And I think you're going to present yourself with your award.
Yeah, this is, I feel like we're at the Oscars or something, right? So this is absolutely amazing. And I just really want to thank the Alliance of Aging Research for sending this and all the work that they're doing in really promoting valve care in the United States. I think it's something that's so critically important. And the Health Valve Awareness Day is something that I've been a part of with. Remember when Lindsay Clark first reached out to me, and I thought it was an absolutely phenomenal idea. And I can't wait because we're going to celebrate it here at Piedmont and hopefully all over the country.
Excellent. And you've been involved with the Heart Valve Disease Awareness Day since its inception in 2017. What makes this organization and this day so important to you?
So, I mean, I think that right now, when we look at disease therapies for cardiac, I think where we've made the biggest impact, Neil, and you've been in the forefront of this yourself, has been in valve disease. Last year in the TVT database, there were 75,000 TAVRs done and in over 40,000 aortic valve, surgical aortic valve surgeries done. So we have, over the last decade, we have really provided phenomenal care in valve disease. We've expanded the patient population that can receive care. So I think the Valve Awareness Day has really, to me, is culminated the work of almost 15 years of this therapy, how we've developed it. And that's great because I think there are a lot of patients who are still not getting the care that they should be, and especially in smaller communities. And I think this is hopefully going to really be a culture change. And I really think the Alliance of Aging Research takes a lot of credit for doing this. I'm so proud to be a part of it.
I completely agree. It's very important work. You've touched on this a little bit, but what do you think have been the most important developments in the treatment of heart valve disease during your career?
So I started doing TAVRs in 2006. So it's been a while now. I think we're the fourth or fifth site in the United States that did them as part of the partner studies by Edwards Life Sciences that originally started the trials in the US. I would say that the most impactful has been that surgeons and cardiologists now are working together to manage the disease process. Before, a surgeon would get the consultation like you and I would have, and then that would be the end of it. And there would be no further advancement. It was either balloon valvuloplasty or it was for aortic stenosis anyway. It was just one therapy, surgical valve replacement. I think now what's been the most impactful, and I think quite honestly, the benefactors of all of this have been patients, because now we have multiple therapies and we have surgeons and cardiologists working side by side, hand in hand in the cath lab or the operating room, in the clinic together and making the best decision. I really think at the end of the day, the patients win. And if we as a hospital group or system aren't doing that, then we're giving a disservice to the patient. And that's where everything should really be centered towards.
I completely agree. And I think the evolution or development of TAVR, transcatheter aortic valve replacement, and transcatheter mitral valve repair with the MitraClip, the most important thing is more patients are being treated. It's allowed access to treatment for a much larger group of patients.
Absolutely. So here we have Jim Cowden, Morris Brown, and myself, the three of us as surgeons, and we're standing right next to Pradeep Yadav and Vivek Rajagopal in cardiology, and we're seeing patients at the same time. And it's absolutely a phenomenal team. And then what I didn't bring up a little bit is that we have a lot of ancillary services around us who are critically just as important. Valve APPs, valve coordinators, the imagers. Here we are led by Venkat Palsani, who's the head of imaging here at Piedmont, but we're working side by side every day. I didn't do that as a resident with our colleagues. I think that's the most impactful thing. And at the end of the day, again, patients benefit.
Yeah. You really just described this multidisciplinary team, sometimes in our world called a heart team.
That's right.
And alluded to some of the importance. And maybe you could just summarize, why is it so important that all of those people come together for the patient?
Yeah, I think it's critically important. And, Amy Simone is our director of the Marcus Valve Center that we have here. So I'm living through it. And what we're able to do is have APPs, surgeons, cardiologists, invasive, non-invasive. We have Miriam King, who runs our surgical clinic, and they all are talking to each other, and they're all working together, and that becomes a absolutely seamless process. To me, that's really what the epitome of a valve team is. It's not the surgeon and the cardiologist who get a lot of the credit. It's the support team around us that are able to make all the magic happen.
I completely agree, and we've obviously made great progress. Physicians, I think, working in collaboration with industry and in innovation, right. But there's a way to go. What do you think are the key unanswered or unmet needs that necessitate further research or innovation?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Neil. I think the mitral valve regurgitation is wide open. You know about this a lot more than I do. And I think that to me, that's really the epitome. That's one of the disease processes that I think is going to become even more and more important. Right? As you know, the only available device, transcatheter, in addition to surgical, is the edge-to-edge repair, transcatheter edge-to-edge repair. And that is our only option. But I think that over the next 5 years, we're going to see which patients are best with that, which patients are best with transcatheter mitral replacement, which patients should have minimally invasive surgery, who should have open surgery. So I think that whole field is wide open. I think we spent a lot of time on aortic stenosis over the last decade, 12 years, but I think that it'll be the mitral, and don't forget about the tricuspid valve. It'll be the time for mitral and tricuspid to shine over the next 5 to 7 years. And the second thing that does encompass all of valve surgery, I think, will be just the idea of patients who are still out in the community with severe disease who aren't getting to the referral center. So really a plethora of patients out there who are dying not only because of the COVID pandemic, which I'm sure we'll talk a little bit about, but just even before the COVID pandemic, people weren't coming for therapy. And I think we need to do a better job educating them and getting them involved. So I think those are two large areas that I think that over the next 5 years, we'll spend a lot of energy on to make some serious impact.
I completely agree. Savina, you've just touched on it. We've obviously been living in a pretty strange world for the last 9 or 10 months.
Yeah.
What have the implications of the pandemic been for the care and treatment of patients with valvular heart disease?
Yeah, I think that, and we've seen this in coronary artery disease also, as you know, Neil, a lot of patients didn't come for therapy, and it's sad. It saddens me, it saddens our institution. I think that a lot of patients are scared to come here for rightful reasons. And I think that there are a lot of patients who are not getting therapy and dying from valve disease specifically in the community. And that's been my biggest concern for COVID as far as the care for valve disease patients. I do think we've made some advancements, however. Telemedicine is much more prominent now than it ever has been before. So I think we've made some strides, but COVID has significantly impacted how we manage these patients. I will tell you that some patients have gotten more transcatheter therapy because the hospitals are full and we're trying to get patients in and out faster than it would be for the 5 to 7 days or 4 to 7 days that the patient would stay for surgical valve therapies.
Yeah, and you know, when we have disruptive events, there's often some good will come out of this. And I think, you know, you've mentioned telemedicine and remote care, remote monitoring, remote education. I think these are things that are likely to be with us forever.
I think so. I think they've we hope that we get something good out of this, Neil, right? It's been such it's been so hard for especially minorities and other racial disparity issues that we're having with COVID and therapy. And I'm really worried about that we've left some people out where we're trying not to. And we need to figure out ways to get them engaged and take care of them so that they can have a normal life trajectory after they get their valve fixed.
Again, you touched on this in a couple of your answers, you know, equity of access and care. And I think COVID has highlighted some of that. What are your thoughts about what we need to do to make access to care more equitable?
So this is really important, Neil. We just recently are in the process at TBT for the National Registry, where Wayne Batchelor is helping us, John Carroll and I, lead a project on COVID and disparities for transcatheter valve therapies, specifically TAVR. And so we actually have submitted that for the ACC for an abstract. And so we're looking carefully at how has COVID affected patients, especially for racial disparities and getting newer technology. So I think that's just very important. We want to study this very aggressively. And the other thing that we're looking at also is how do we get minorities to participate in research trials and to provide the highest, newest technology to all members of the community, not just a certain elite population. I think that's something that we as trialists, and Neil, we've talked about this in some of the trials that I'm involved with you, of how we can do that. And we need to do a better job with educating at the ground level, not just in the ivory tower level. We have to shift the way we discuss with patients, and how we approach with patients on getting these patients into the highest technological and more advanced technological therapies that we can.
Yeah, I agree, and I think events like, you know, the Heart Valve Disease Awareness Day is key in that as well. That patient awareness of valve disease and what can be done, you know, the type of therapies that are available is a key part of that.
Absolutely, yeah, I think so, and I think that we've just started to realize the power of this Valve Awareness Day. I have to be honest with you. I think we're just seeing it's going to continue to escalate very nicely. And had it not been for the Alliance of Aging Research, we wouldn't have even done this. So this is beautiful. This is going to be beautiful over the next 5-10 years. We're going to say, wow, look what we started.
Yeah, and I just echo you know, your comment about the Alliance for Aging Research. I mean, I think it's so important, and I think we are just starting this journey. And you know, with social media and the ability to get information to patients broadly, I think it's, as you say, it's going to be a very positive road over the next few years.
Yep, I agree with you. I think that especially as patients start to participate in their own care, and we make this very patient-centered outcomes research will become even more important. I think this is just the beginning.
So Vino, Dr. Tehrani, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for all the extraordinary work that you've done in your career, and I'm sure there's much more to come. Congratulations to you on this very well-deserved reward, and it looks like I haven't seen it live, but it looks like a very, very nice piece of artwork. So personally, we know each other well. Very many congratulations. At Abbott, from all of us in the structural heart community, commend you on your work and your dedication to the field and to patients. Thank you again.
Thank you, Neil. Thank you so much. Again, we're humbled and honored, and quite honestly, I can't wait to see you in person instead of the Zoom calls.
Yeah, it would be good. Thank you again.
Thank you.